Welcome to Details of Divorce, where we break down the legal, financial, and emotional aspects of divorce to help you make informed decisions. I'm your host, Paul Riley, and each episode we dive into key issues that impact individuals who are navigating separation and divorce. So whether you're concerned about asset division, protecting your business, or dealing with foreign property disputes, we're here to provide clear and practical insights for you. Now, divorce is complex, but understanding your rights and options can make all the difference in the world. And while this isn't legal advice that I'm giving you, it's designed to empower you with the knowledge you need to move forward and move forward with confidence. On this episode, if you earn 7-8 figures or above, the child support number that the federal child support guidelines spits out can often look quite surreal, and we deal with a lot of high net worth clients here, and let me answer a blunt question that I hear all the time. Is there a cap in Ontario on child support? The short answer, no. There is no statutory or common law cap on child support here, but there is a powerful safety valve, that is Section 4 of the federal child support guidelines. That section lets judges adjust the number above $150,000 of income when the table amount is deemed inappropriate for the child. Now, here's how it really works. Let's start with the table. The guideline tables apply to all incomes. There is a presumption in favor of using them by the courts. I think that is also fair to say. Over $150,000 per year income, that's when Section 4 kicks in. In that case, the court can either A, apply the table amount on the full amount, or B, apply the table amount on the first $150,000 in income, plus an appropriate amount on the excess. So it gives judges room to maneuver there and be creative. Inappropriate means unsuitable, not that the number feels like a big number. The focus is entirely child-centered. The child's condition, means, needs, and other circumstances as well. Also, the parent's ability to contribute. 2 Supreme Court guideposts lock this in. That would be Francis v. Baker, a Supreme Court of Canada 1999 case, where it defines inappropriate as unsuitable, confirms courts may increase or reduce above $150K, and warns that inflated children's budgets are often just wish lists, not evidence of need. And in Our v. Our, a 2024 case, the court reaffirms that Section 4B is discretion, it's lawful, and it is necessary. Judges can depart from a pure table result on the excess over $150,000 in income when the table is unsuitable based on the facts of that particular case. Translation here, there's no ceiling, but there is a disciplined way to land below a raw table number when the evidence shows that the table overshoots the real child-centered number. In RVR, a 2000 case, in that particular case, the payer's income was over $4 million. In that case, the court determined that the recipient's child budget was padded with luxury items instead of describing real needs for the child. The result of that case, the court deviated downwards. The table was inappropriate, the court determined, given the comfortable but not extravagant pre-separation lifestyle. So in essence, this case showed that the courts won't fund lifestyle inflation for the other parent. In Kardullo Vlo, the 2021 case, the payer's income ranged between $1 million to $2.3 over the relevant time periods. In that case, it was found that the children's high-end lifestyle was already maintained, and the table amount risked turning support for the children into indirect spousal support. The result of that case, the court fixed the income at $500,000 for child support purposes, not a legal cap, but a principled child-centered anchor reflecting durable earnings. At ultra-high incomes, courts will depart from the table when you prove the table would overshoot the child's actual needs in context. In some cases, however, courts refuse to deviate. In Marinangeli v. Marinangeli, a 2001 case, the payer pointed to option income and higher earnings, but didn't produce compelling child-centered evidence showing the table amount was unsuitable. The result in that case, the table amount applied, including, in fact, retroactive support. The lesson here, high income alone does not justify trimming the number. You have to have compelling evidence to fortify your position. In Delarier v. Pomainville, this was a 2017 case. In that case, the payer argued wealth transfer but failed to show the table was inappropriate for the child's circumstances. The result in that case, there was no arbitrary cap at 150 and the table amount stood. The lesson here, once again, you need real evidence, not slogans, not wishing, and not you lamenting that it's unfair. You need evidence to back up your position. In Baker v. Baker, a 2023 case, the reported income was around $20.9 million with poor disclosure, but a claim that this was an outlier spike in income among otherwise lower years. Well, what did the court do in this case? It averaged multiple years, adjusting for the outlier, and set interim child support of about $7,200 per month, alongside spousal support in the SAG range, pending proper disclosure. The lesson here, when disclosure is incomplete or income fluctuates, the court normalizes by averaging the income before setting durable numbers. Judges balance predictability and efficiency of the tables against fairness and the child's actual situation. The first $150,000 is strongly anchored to the table. On the excess, the question is the table unsuitable for this child in this family? If the answer is yes, the court crafts an appropriate number using a number of things. One, proved lifestyle continuity, that is to say schools, programs, travel, staffing actually enjoyed pre-separation. Two, the durability of income versus one-off spikes. Three, clear separation of basic support and Section 7 special extraordinary expenses. No double counting, in essence, is what the court is stressing here. Avoiding wealth transfer or de facto spousal support is also critical and important to the court as well. Now, what do you do if you're at 10 million plus in terms of income? Well, let's be blunt. There is no cap, but at 8 figures, a raw table number will often overshoot real need, unless you have multiple children with established expensive routines that were truly part of life before separation. Winning strategies for a payer seeking a downward deviation include own the actual standard of living factuality. What does that mean? It means file real evidence, enrollment letters, travel history, coaching invoices, club dues paid, household staffing, past itineraries pre-separation. Don't minimize here, be accurate. 2, prove the anomaly when it exists. Was there an IPO payout in this particular year? Was there a single year bonus perhaps? Show why this won't reoccur in the future. 3, deliver a clean child-centered budget. No table reverse engineering, no Section 7 double counting. Provide ranges and actual receipts. So let me stress, the main thing courts care about in family law are the young people, children. They don't care about necessarily you, your ex. It's the kids that the courts are going to focus on most of all, especially if the issue surrounds child support. If you're the recipient now, trying to resist a cut, here's what you need to stress. Lean on the presumption. The onus is on the payer to prove unsuitability. 2, prove high net worth continuity. Tutors, private school, travel. Tie each to what the child actually had, what the child lived prior to separation. Most importantly, push disclosure. Courts punish stonewalling with adverse inferences and conservative interim numbers. The bottom line and takeaway here are there is no cap in Ontario. Full stop. Period. Section 4, however, is the break on the excess over $150K when the table is unsuitable for the real child expenses before the court. Evidence wins. Payers who prove anomalies and overshoot tend to get the principal reductions. Recipients who prove credible, high-end continuity tend to keep numbers close to the table. That's it for today's episode of Details in Divorce. We hope you found today's discussion insightful and valuable as you navigate your own divorce journey. Remember, every situation is different and unique, and getting the right information is key to making the best decisions for your future. If you have questions or need guidance, the Riley firm is here to help. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming episodes where we continue to explore the critical issues that matter most during divorce. I'll see you next time.